Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news this evening, so let's begin. First up, we begin with breaking news. 2 shot, 1 arrested after shooting during wedding at Pelham Church, officials say. Wedding guest suspect before officers arrive, police say. Let's take a listen to this update.
Do you need a new roof but think you can't afford it? Our average customer pays $7,500 for a total roof replacement, and we have finance plans with payment options under $150 per month. Call today. Century Roofing, we've got you covered.
We continue to follow breaking news this afternoon. A suspect is in custody after a shooting this morning at a church in Pelham. Authorities are speaking now at the police department. Let's listen in.
Anybody else that has to get set up? Okay.
Can you just say your name before we start?
Yes. Everybody good? Okay, good afternoon. My name is Chief Joseph Rourke of the Pelham, New Hampshire Police Department. My last name is R-O-A-R-K. Thank you all for coming, and I appreciate you sticking with us, being moved from spot to spot. I'm going to offer a preliminary statement on today's incident at the New England Pentecostal Church. After that, the New Hampshire Attorney General's office will be answering questions and offer a more detailed statement later today. Today, at 10:12 a.m., the Pelham Police Department received a call for an active shooter at the New England Pentecostal Church at 955 Bridge Street, Pelham, New Hampshire. Responding officers arrived within 3 minutes of the call. Upon arrival, a wedding was occurring at the church, and the police officers discovered a suspected shooter being detained and subdued by the guests of the wedding. They placed that individual into custody and arrested him. They then noticed 2 victims were suffering from gunshot wounds. They rendered medical aid to those 2 individuals. Those 2 individuals were transported from the scene by the Pelham Fire Department ambulances. The suspect was brought to our station at the Pelham Police Department.
Okay, and there you go on some of that press conference in video. Again, a shooting happened at a church in Pelham. Wedding guests helped subdue a man after a shooting at a church Saturday morning in Pelham, police said. Authorities responded to the New England Pentecostal Ministry on Bridge Street just after 10 a.m. 2 people suffered gunshot wounds and were hospitalized, according to Pelham Police Chief. A 3rd person suffered unspecific injuries and was taken to the hospital, police said. No deaths have been reported in connection with the shooting. Guests of the wedding tackled and subdued the shooter, who was arrested and taken to a Pelham Police Department, officials said. Guests who subdued the suspect suffered minor injuries. Police said the shooter arrived at scene after the wedding begun. Pelham Police Chief said the church underwent active shooter training within the past year. The State Police Major Crime Unit and New Hampshire Attorney General's Office are involved in the investigation. Bridge Street was open for a time after the shooting, but as of 1:15, the road is closed. Drivers should avoid the area. It is a very active scene. A celebration of life memorial service for Luis Garcia was set for noon. Garcia, 60, was shot and killed earlier this month. He served as the minister at this church for 6 years. It's not known if the shooter was connected to the planned memorial service. The NYPD Counterterrorism Bureau indicated in a tweet that it is following the developments of the shooting in Pelham. And we will keep you updated on this as more information comes into our newsroom. This is still a big story that will still develop for days until we find out what happened and things. 2 dead, including child, after fire at Northampton home. Let's take a listen to the video from WR News 9.
Do you need a new roof but think you can't afford it? Our average customer pays $7,500 for a total roof replacement, and we have finance plans with payment options under $150 per month. Call today. Century Roofing, we've got you covered.
Developing this morning, an investigation underway in Northampton after a fire at a home there. Now an adult male and a young boy are dead. The fire broke out just after 8 o'clock last night on Lovering Road. The 2 victims were transported to the hospital. They did both later die from their injuries. The state fire marshal's office, as well as state police and local authorities, are now investigating the untimely deaths as well as the cause of the fire. The victims have not been identified. Autopsies are scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Video shows students' close call with out-of-control car. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
A 5th grader is recounting the moment her life flashed before her eyes when she came close to getting hit by a car. A sharp-eyed school bus driver getting the credit for preventing what could have been a tragedy. And ABC's Zachary Keish joins us with more. Good morning to you, Zachary.
Eva, good morning to you as well. It's a warning to drivers and a plea to pay attention. This could have gone completely a different way. The man behind the wheel of that car you see barreling down the street and headed towards that girl blamed the incident on brake issues. This morning, watch this terrifying footage as a little girl walks off the school bus.
Daddy, come here! Daddy, come here!
Captured on surveillance video, this 5th grade girl, Emma, steps off the bus for a brief second before rushing back on as an out-of-control car speeds by.
I actually came in and started crying because I knew that what could have happened didn't happen if my bus driver didn't call me back in.
The driver crossed the wrong side of the street, jumping the curb and speeding down the sidewalk right into the girl's path.
Daddy, come here! Daddy, come here!
That voice you hear in the background is the bus driver, Sharon Macklin, screaming to get the girl's attention.
She was getting off the bus, and I happened to see this car fly around another car that was waiting for the bus to go. When she stepped off the last step, I said, honey, come back, come back.
This morning, Emma's mother is urging other people to be more careful.
Just be cautious of other people's kids. You know, they may not be your own, but they're somebody's, and somebody loves them and wants them to be around.
I just did my job. We have to look out and be prepared for whatever's going to happen.
Police in Bedford, Ohio found that driver and charged him with reckless operation. The driver told police he was having brake issues.
He was able to get the car home safely and park the car safely, so there's no credence that he didn't have brakes.
Now, experts encourage communication between bus drivers and students, even nonverbal cues like eye contact before crossing the street, or in this case, yelling at the girl to get her back on the bus. But the bottom line is, for the rest of us, you got to slow down and pay attention out there.
Definitely. I really relate to what the driver was saying. Once you have kids, and I think Whit would understand this, you're just constantly scanning for
head on a swivel.
Yes.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this Saturday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night, everyone, and bye.